Hello, I'm Tony back again. And last time when we did a how to automate cookie clicker video, which you can watch by the way, unless I've, gotten pissed off and deleted it for some reason. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. But anyway, I was a little unsatisfied there. I feel like we didn't go in as deep as we could have. We could do more interesting stuff. So today we're gonna just hack the crap out of Cookie Clicker. Like we're just gonna annihilate this. We're gonna unlock every achievement, and we're gonna try to do it in around 10 minutes. So to recap, what we found last time while writing our automation script was that the entirety of the game is here in window.game. Or I found that you don't even have to type window.game. You can just type game, and it's here in like the global object, and we can change whatever we want. But on top of that, after looking a little bit deeper, I found in our debugger, if we look in the JavaScript that's coming to our client, what we've got is all of the source code. This is a client-side game with like no server piece to it at all. The entirety of the code is here and unminified. Now, I think it's interesting that they didn't minify it because they could probably, this is like 15,000 lines, and they could cut the size of this file down like real good. Oh man, already we're seeing here in our console log, like, hey, how's it hanging? The source code that's responsible for printing that in our console is right here at the very bottom of the source code. It looks like it uses choose, which must pick randomly from this list of objects, and we got that one. Okay, neat. So we've already done a little bit of reverse engineering here, but yeah. So let's just beat the crap out of this game. So first things first, if you're coming to this video looking to hack Cookie Clicker, you probably want the script kiddie stuff, like cookies. This is the number of cookies you have at the moment. You've got 0 cookies, and if we just hit enter, we print it out, we get 0 cookies. If we set it equal to 100, we have 100 cookies. And apparently, this variable is being watched on some level because we just unlocked an achievement by, by changing the cookies here. But this is a very lame way to hack. Just changing the cookies, that's for if you're incredibly utilitarian and you're not interested in the sciencing of it. But me, I want to dig a little bit deeper than just giving ourselves more cookies. Because honestly, you could give yourself cookies till you're blue in the face, and the game would still take you hours and hours to beat. You'd be clicking all over the place. I think we can do better than that. So one of the things you may be interested in is the legacy. It gives you heavenly chips. Well, again, those are just stuck right here on the game object, and you can modify them freely. So if you're in the Ascension screen, you can change that here and just unlock all of your Ascensions. I'm not going to show you that because it takes a little bit too much time, but it is there. So in my journeys, I ran into this. So I printed out the entire game object. And these debuggers in Firefox and Chrome are getting pretty good. You can just explore and debug the entire object right from your console. So I tried game, and I saw one called Spawn Wrinkler out here. And it looks like it takes in a parameter, Spawn Wrinkler me. And I tried to call this without, like, just naively. Let's see, spawn, like game, spawn Wrinkler, and then I just tried to call it with no parameter, see if it would do something. It doesn't do anything. So this is where our reverse engineering comes in. So let's just jump right into that source code and see if we can find how to, like, what the source code for Spawn Wrinkler is. Ah, here it is. Looks like it takes in the one parameter like we expect. And it looks like it iterates through an object, some kind of object or list. It's got to be a list for each wrinkler for each eye in there. Okay, yeah, it looks like the thing that it's expecting, that me object, not me, me equals it. I think what this is doing is, what we've got is a list of wrinklers in the game, or this list of objects that defines what a wrinkler is, and it's taking in one of these as a parameter, and then it's choosing to spawn it. So let's give that a shot. Let's try to spawn a wrinkler, and 0 indexed, so let's just spawn wrinkler 0 and see if we can spawn a wrinkler outside of the Grandma Apocalypse. Did that work? I'm not seeing a wrinkler on the... Ah, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. We've got ourselves a wrinkler. And so you can go through and you can just spawn however many wrinklers you want at any section of the game. I think it goes like counterclockwise. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we spawn wrinkler 6, we should expect to see it over there. Wrinkler 7, we should expect to see it over... Wrinkler 7, I'm guessing it would be... Yeah, there's wrinkler 7. Okay, so you can see that now we've spawned wrinklers outside of the Grandma Apocalypse, but we can probably do even things more interesting than that. We can probably go like game.wrinklers, and for each one of these wrinklers, let's just call it W, so that's the wrinkler object. We'll just call that game.spawn wrinkler, and we'll spawn every single one of these wrinklers in here using some of that new brilliant, if I'm spelling something wrong, you have to tell me. Wrinklers? There we go, that looked like it worked. And so you can see that we just iterated through the entire list of wrinklers that we could find, and we spawned all 12 of them. Now there's only room for 10, so it looks like the last 2 showed up down here on top of each other. Yeah, and then I gotta close this a little bit. Yeah, we could probably spawn shiny cookies if we wanted to later, but I didn't plan for that. One other interesting thing that I would like to point out, while we were looking through the source code, we didn't scroll down long enough, but... Oh wait, no, we did. This thing right here, it looks like when spawn wrinkler is called, we've got some tiny chance of spawning what the comment here says is a shiny wrinkler. So let's see what that is. It looks like if we just take our wrinkler object and we set the dot type equal to 1, it becomes a shiny object. So what are these? This is wrinkler maybe 6 and 7 if I had to guess. So let's just change wrinkler 6's. Let's just change wrinkler 6's or 7. Yeah, let's change this type to 1 and see if we can turn this guy into a shiny wrinkler. Type equals 1. Oh, looks like there he goes. It just had to load that image in. Okay, so now we've got ourselves a shiny wrinkler. Yeah, let's pop him. Last chance to see. Okay, interesting. So you can see now, but just by doing a little bit of code diving, we can actually control everything in the game. You just got to get curious and decide what you want to do. So one thing I would like to do is I would like to be able to buy these cursors and not have it worry about my price. So there's 2 ways to do this. One is a real simple way. What we'll do is, I happen to know the cursor lives in this objects. Let's see, objects by ID. So the cursor is ID 0. And this gives us all the information about the cursor object and all their functions too. It looks like buy is a function on here. And it looks like it even tells us the price if we go down far enough. So price equals 31. So what we can do, just to kind of, off the top of my head, what we can do is we can just add whatever the price is to our current cookies and then call the buy object. And we can do that probably in like 1 line. Okay, so there's the price, 31. Let's just take our game.cookies, and then we will say plus equals, and that'll just add our current cookies onto, or the price of the cursor onto our current cookies, and then we just game.objects by ID, and the 0 is the cursor, and then we just call that buy function on there. So there, we've got, really it's 2 lines of code because it's, semicolons are basically lines. But for us, 1 line of code, and it doesn't matter how many cookies we have. Because we just keep calling this, and we can just buy these things to our heart's content, and it's free. Now, I did see a few things on there like .free and whatever. I think debug-wise, we could probably just set these to be free all the time. I think that's probably what the devs put in order for them to be able to test the game. And we could reverse engineer that, but hey, I've only planned for so much. So the next thing I wanted to do was, instead of doing this junk, which works just fine, I'm going to show you that we can actually override this buy function. Like here, if we look in the debugger, just like that spawn wrinklers bit, we can find the source code for the buy function on each of these. And it looks like, you know, for each time in whatever the amount, I guess the amount is how many you're going to try to buy. For each one, it'll run this code in the middle, which tries to, it gets the price of the object, checks if you have enough cookies, and then over here, it looks like it spends that many cookies on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this entire function, copy paste it, and then that objects by ID 0, I'm going to set the buy function equal to this. So now we're basically setting the buy function equal to itself if we were to press enter now. But I don't want to set it to itself. I actually want to get rid of this piece where it checks to see if our cookies are greater than the price. And then I want to get rid of this piece right here, which subtracts, I imagine, you know, that subtracts the price from however many cookies we've got. So now for this object, the cursor, we've overwritten, we're going to overwrite the buy function to a new buy function that's not going to care if we have enough cookies, and it's not going to subtract cookies when we're done. So there, we've done that, we've overridden the buy function, and so presumably I can just click this into infinity. Perfect. And I could easily write a for loop and go through and do this exact thing with every single object. And so just make all of it free. But I've noticed one final thing, like I can buy stuff for free, but it's still just going to take me a long time to unlock all these achievements. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of reverse engineering and figure out how we can unlock these achievements. So in my journeys, looking through here, what I found is that we've got a function in here called game.win. Okay? Now that was just me looking at interesting functions on the game object, just by, you know, pulling up the full game object and then fiddling through. But when you're playing a game or trying to hack a game and you see a function called win, well, that's probably something worth looking into. So let's go into our source code here, and instead of checking out buy, let's look at what the win function is all about. So the game.win function is, okay, what looks like it's going to be a string, and it looks like it's checking the game.achievements, all of these achievements, and it's checking to see if the .1 is equal to 0. So I'm guessing that means if you haven't unlocked the achievement yet, then it runs all of this code here. And otherwise, oh, okay. So it looks like if we call function with the name of an achievement that we haven't unlocked yet, we get that achievement unlocked pop-up, and we basically get the achievement. So let's see if we can't piddle around with that and get an achievement. So what do they say? Game.achievements. Let's try achievements by ID, because that one's always a list, and those things are easier to get through than, like, you know, objects. They're easier to iterate. So let's just see, what is achievement 100? Okay, achievement 100 is Clickasmic, and that's the name. So if my guess is correct, if I just say win Clickasmic in here, aha, it looks like we've won an achievement and then even maybe accidentally won another achievement after it. But yeah, we got our Clickasmic achievement. So if we iterate through all of the items in achievements by ID and then just call that Clickasmic function with whatever the name of that achievement is, we can unlock all of the achievements in like a second here. So let's try it. Let's go for each, and then or I'm going to call it A for achievement, so I don't have to type so much. So for each of those achievements, we're going to call the win function with whatever that achievement's name is. And then that should let us just win the game and never have to play Cookie Clicker again. Okay. It looks like we got all... Oh, there we are. It looks like we've unlocked every achievement in the game now. Wonderful, wonderful. even some achievements that, according to this, are not technically achievable yet. Ooh, I might have just uncovered some sort of in-progress dev work that the cookie clicker guys are working on now. Some shadow achievements have 4 golden cookies simultaneously. Click tons of golden cookies. Yeah, so even these achievements that I would have had no idea existed look like they're all unlocked. So that's it. We've been looking at this in reverse engineering for 15 minutes, and we have completely beaten Cookie Clicker. This takes people months if they do it legitimately. And even if you hack yourself cookies, it would still take you a long time. So by just snooping through the code, we were able to just completely demolish this. So that's my thesis. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any ideas for other, browser-based games or other games in general, I would like to continue automating and hacking games for you. So please leave suggestions in the comments for me. And I don't care if you like or subscribe. Go away.